Cheryl, sure.
I have no idea what's going on with this year.
Good morning, Victor.
Good morning. I have all the documents voted.
Oh, do ya? Okay, well, it'll be our first dry run,
It
so
will be.
we'll see how it works. And hey, Amy.
God, it feels all gooey and everything.
Sure. Remember I have the...
Yes.
Just give it to Bruce.
And then 32 you don't all have to sign, so I put this one out.
Do we all have to sign?
What
I
happened?
think you might have signed it. No, Jeff did.
Wait, do you
So
want this now
these
or
three
after
things
this?
you'll have to sign.
I'm done.
What do you want me to do with it?
Oh, okay.
That's what he wanted me to do with it, and he didn't answer, so.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I marked everything you guys all have to sign, so it's right here. What is...
Waiting on Victor. We good, Victor? Yeah, we're good. Yeah, 9:30. Dan, since we're not on yet. Camera will turn on as soon as you get up here, so that's how that works. Man. That's not it. No. Are we on? You guys see us up there? or
No, it's not on.
TVs are on.
Oh, they're not?
No.
Not on here.
You said 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties, I guess.
That's that island off of Puerto Vallarta.
Nope.
There we go.
Okay, we ready? Welcome to today's County Commission meeting, January 18th, 2023. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk? Call the roll.
Commissioner Moore,
Here.
Commissioner Rydell,
Here.
Riddell, Commissioner Hung.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay.
Resolutions?
Yep.
Number 1, investments.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes. Are we going to have, Victor, you going to put up the investments?
I don't have any.
Oh, he probably didn't get
I
the.
received no investments.
Oh,
that-
really?
That would be this page
Right,
here.
right. Okay. Okay, no problem. No, that's okay. Okay, we're in discussion mode. what we're trying to do is so that the public can see what we're voting on a weekly basis. The investments is something that we vote on, and I was hoping that as we're working through some of this, that the public will be able to see what we're voting on, and hopefully that's what we're gonna try to work on today. And every week as we vote, you'll see, the amounts, the dollars, and who we're dealing with. So we'll work on that, investments then.
Aye,
Okay.
sorry.
That's end of discussion for me, Hal.
As opposed to looking at us all day.
Yeah.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 2, appropriations.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
All right, here we go. You'll be able to hear us, but you won't be able to see us, which is sometimes a plus. This is, okay, we're voting today on appropriations. This is the appropriations. Usually you see just one line and we vote yes or no. So I have nothing to add or subtract in this discussion, so I'm good.
Mr. President,
Yeah,
Madam Clerk, I'll be voting yes on appropriations with the exception of, and there's no line number, so I can't give you a line number.
It's okay.
But it would be the first one, which is $13,900,000 to appropriate funds for loan payment to Lorain County Port Authority. So I will be a yes on appropriations with the exception of what appears to be number 1 on that line.
Okay. Maybe we could start
that's
numbering
appropriate.
those.
Yeah, that's appropriate, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we could, yeah.
We'll start numbering them.
Good idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Did we number them in the past?
No,
No.
but we can
Oh,
do
okay.
that, so in case you do have exceptions, then you can just tell us the number too.
Okay,
Okay?
good.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung, with the
Yes, with
exception of
noted
number 1.
exception.
Okay. Number 3, transfers.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
They were up there, but
Yeah, they were
now
up
they're
there.
gone.
Do
Okay.
you want to put that same,
Yeah, you put that back up if you want, Victor. We have more than appropriations up there. If you take a look below that, you'll see account transfers and fund transfers. That's what we're talking about, so. Thanks, Victor.
any further discussion? Commissioner Moore,
Aye?
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes,
Number 4, there are no advances or repayments. Number 5, requisitions.
So moved. Oh, wait a minute, let me think about this. I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay.
In regards to our requisitions, we have 30 pages here. And I would like to, if it's okay with the board, I'd like to vote on each requisition on a per-page basis. Would that be fine with this board? Or would you rather look at each page and discuss it and just asking? I mean,
I would ask the clerk to weigh in on making sure the record is clear on the requisitions. If you are gonna vote page by page, we should make sure, are they all pages numbered 1 through 30?
yes,
They are.
Are you comfortable with being able to, the minutes having page 1, page 2, page 3, all the way through?
I am fine. That is just a separate resolution number for each separate page. So, or you just go through page by page, have a discussion, and then do a vote at the end.
well, what's the pleasure of the board?
Well, I think that we normally don't have that many pages, and I think what we're trying to establish is the process of letting people see what we're voting on. So if we can labor through that this one time with all these pages, I think it'll get easier as we go along.
That's fine. Whatever the pleasure. I just want to let you guys know that'll be one separate resolution for each requisition page.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, Victor, could you please pull up? So I make a motion to approve page 1 of 30 of the requisitions.
Second?
Discussion.
Anyone want to discuss numbers 1 through 8? 911. Seeing no discussion, I guess.
Okay, Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
yes,
Page 2.
Move to approve page 2 of 30 of the requisitions.
Second?
Discussion.
As the public can see, a lot of this is 911 expenses. A lot of these expenses are, covers a lot of these departments for the year. So you're seeing a lot of money for the whole year. and that's what we're discussing today. No more
Anything
discussion.
further? Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 3, 23 through 34.
Move to approve page 3 of 30 on the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion.
Just let people know what CBCF means. It's Community Board or Base Corrections Facility.
I was just gonna ask that question.
Okay.
I want everybody to know that's not food service for the commissioner.
Yeah, so. Nowhere.
Okay. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 4, 35 through 49.
Move to approve page 4 of 30 for the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 5,
Page-
50 through 59. What is
Move
that
to
number?
approve page 5 of 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion.
Madam Clerk, I'll be a yes with a no on number 54.
Okay. Anything further? Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung with her exception of number 54.
Yes, that'll be a no on 54.
Correct.
Not an exception, yeah.
Page 6, 60 through 71.
Move to approve page 6 of 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion.
Just to let you know, when you see Commissioners item number 1,000, that comes out of our general fund budget, so.
Anything further?
Oh,
Commissioner Moore,
aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 7, 72 through 83.
Move to approve page 7 of 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 8, 84 through 95.
Move to approve page 8 of 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 9, 96 through 110.
Move to approve page 9 of 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion.
I'd like to put the public's attention to number 96 and see the significance of that dollar amount for road salt.
I've always wondered, even years ago, about what happens if we have a mild winter. So, but you never know, so.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 10, 111 through 122.
Move to approve page 10 of 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 11, 123 through 134.
Move to approve page 11 of page 30 for the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 12, 135 to 143.
Move to approve page 12 of 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 13, 144 through 155.
Move to approve page 13 of 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 14, 156 through 170.
Move to approve page 14 of page 30 for the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 15, 171 through 183.
Move to approve number 15 of page 30 for the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 16, 184 through 197.
Move to approve page 16 of 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion.
Mr. President,
Yep.
Madam Clerk, I'll be a no on 190, a yes on the whole page 16.
Any further discussion? Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung with a no on 190.
Yes.
Page 17, 198 through 210.
Move to approve page 17 of page 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 18, 211 through 223.
Move to approve page 18 of page 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 19, 224 through 234.
Move to approve page 19 of 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion.
I'll make a note right now. If you notice in this document, usually when this is presented to us, there's no signatures from reviewed by, funded, available, or reviewed by the county administrator. If you notice now that they do have signatures, which means they have reviewed them, and we have not yet voted on it, and that's why our signatures are not on there. So I'll at least clarify that for everybody. That's it.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 20, that's 235 to 244.
Move to approve page 20 of page 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 21, that's 245 to 254.
Move to approve page 21 of page 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 22, 255 to 262.
Move to approve page 22 of page 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 23, 263 to 272.
Move to approve page 23 of page 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 24, 273 to 281.
Move to approve page 24 of page 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion.
Mr. President,
Please.
Madam Clerk, I'll be abstaining from 273.
273? Okay. Anything further? Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung with their abstention of 273.
Yes.
Page 25, that's 282 through 290.
Move to approve page 25 of page 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 26, 291 through 300.
Move to approve page 26 of page 30 of the requisitions.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 27. 301 to 309.
Move to approve page 27 of page 30 of the requisitions.
Second?
Discussion.
Mr. President,
Please, go ahead.
and just so the public knows, you'll see on there for car washing, that is not for our personal cars. That is for the maintenance, fleet cars that we have out there.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 28, 310 through 319.
Move to approve page 28 of page 30 of the requisitions.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 29, 320 through 330.
Move to approve page 29 of page 30.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 30, 331 to 338.
Move to approve page 30 of page 30 of the resolutions.
Second?
Discussion.
Requisitions, sorry.
Requisitions.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Okay, number 6, travel.
Move to approve page 1 of page 2 of the travel.
Hold on one sec. I didn't know we had 2 pages. Okay, hold
Yes.
on one second. Sorry. Page 1. Okay, so that's 1 through 8. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Page 2, number 9.
We're gonna, well, I'm gonna do a hold until, unless Casey wants to say something, because there's no dollar amount on this page 2.
So, yeah, so it is, it was a typo left out there. It's $487.60. It matches number 8. Looks like there's 2 people going to that same conference, so.
So how much is it?
That's the amount that you'd be voting for, $487.60.
So is that for both? Was that on page 1, or is that
That's
per person?
per person.
Is it on the hard copy that we would sign, Teresa?
No, because these were all copied from this hard copy, so I don't believe.
Doesn't show up on our signature page.
What would be the last one here? Is it the last one?
No, these are all requisitions, so.
You didn't get, wait, is that travel?
Is that,
Oh, it's not on the last
On
one.
the first one.
no, so it would
Yeah, it's
be
on that.
the same as this one here, 487.60.
Page 2.
But are
Mr.
you
President,
sure?
Mr. President, may I address the prosecutor, Assistant County Prosecutor? Is it permissible to write that in on the hard copy?
Before the vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I have a question. Sorry, Mr. President. On this one, you have one person at 248.60, and then you have one at 487.60, so just to make sure, is that
yeah, Casey.
487.60, or is it the two?
Multi-day, so one person would be going for one day and the other 2 would be going for.
So, but Casey.
No,
we
it's the
have-
same as number 7,
The one
Casey.
that's not filled in actually is the shorter duration, Casey?
That's why I asked.
Yeah, good catch there, Madam Clerk.
So the number 7 is 1 day, number 8 is 2 days. So would number 9 be what number 7 is?
So, Commissioner, my recommendation, given that this is not occurring till March, I would recommend holding off on number 8 till we get some
Okay.
clarification.
Okay, well-
We'll go back to that department, JFS,
Okay. Well, there's no motion, so I'll just hold it.
Yeah, we just
Just
won't
hold
sign
it.
it.
so page 2, number 8, or number 9. I recommend holding off on that.
Yes, so we'll just hold till next week clarification. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Number 7, bills. Did you want to do these
I'm
separately
trying to
too?
see, yeah, there's 2 pages of bills. Well, you know what?
There's actually more than that.
How many I saw
There's two of these, and then
Oh,
you've always
okay.
got two of those, so.
I'll make a motion to approve page 1 of bills.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell, Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Okay, so page 2 of the bills.
Yep. Move to approve page 2 of our bills.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
And then you have these two, which is, I don't know if he's got them there or not. No.
Is that our job and family?
So you got the administrative payroll, job and families. You don't have these two?
No, but we can move to,
And then you got an auditor's bookkeeping, which is unclaimed funds.
correct. Do you want me to read it? Or do
I
you
can
wanna-
read it,
Yeah,
or
go ahead,
you
you can
want-
read them in.
You want me to
both
read them separately or
No,
both as together?
together.
Okay, so we have two bills. One is Lorain County Human Services, H 222201, which is administrative payroll, $383,366.18. And then the other bill is the auditor's bookkeeping, unclaimed funds, in the amount of $6,858.73.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Okay. Number 8, authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within jurisdiction of Lorain County Board of Commissioners. At the conclusion of today's board meeting, commissioners may recess an executive session to discuss personnel, new hires, and board appointments.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number B, public comment on agenda items.
Anybody have any comments? I didn't see any filled out for any of our agenda items. At this moment, we have 2 points for public comment. In the beginning, in regards to the business of the county, and then at the end, the public in regards to any other issues that they might wish to discuss. I didn't see anybody fill anything out for any agenda items. So we'll move on to board business.
Number 9, provide each Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. as regular board meetings for the 2023.
Do we need to discuss this? Are we good? Do you want us to make a motion?
I'm just making a motion to approve right now to get them
Okay.
scheduled, because they need to be
So
done.
moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Yes. Do we want to have any more discussions in regards to meetings, or want to wait?
Shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah, the board is considering a change from the weekly schedule on Wednesday of each week. We're required by law to have 50 meetings a year, and so it's traditionally been one meeting a week at 9:30 in the morning. In order to provide opportunity for more public knowledge, conversation, and input, we are considering a change in that schedule, and we've had some preliminary discussions amongst ourselves and with staff, but are inviting public comment at this point. The consideration is to go to a Tuesday, Thursday meeting every other week, so that we may put items up for public inspection and comment, and then one of those meetings would be an evening meeting that week, which would allow the public to come in without conflicting with their work schedules, to come in and participate in the conversation or input on any of the items that are on the agenda that week. So it's kind of in the, it's beginning stages, but we're looking at this for a trial period of 60 or 90 days to see what the public's response is, but at this point, we're just eliciting that if there's an appreciation for this, if there's an idea, we don't think we have the corner on all the ideas in the world, but we are interested, as we did this morning with putting things on the screen, we are interested in seeing to it that the public at least has an opportunity to know whatever it is that they'd like to know about. And we hope that that will foster some appreciation for the work that the county and all the employees do. So at this time, I think we're just making a motion until that conversation and project is resolved to stay on Wednesday morning at 9:30, but we're looking at our earliest opportunity is making a switch somewhere in the character of what I described. That's all, Mr. President.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 10, provide the first or third Tuesday of each month at 4:30 as regular board meetings days for 2023 for public hearings.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Yes. What we had is, this is for things such as our ditch hearings. People were taking time off for our ditch hearings, and there was always a confusion in regards to the prosecutor's letter that would go out and,
my fault.
and scare,
Statute says that.
and scare people. And they were taking time off of work, so we felt that maybe an evening meeting for our public hearings, which usually, this is more for our ditch hearings, so that's it for me.
Anything further?
I would state, just for the board, that we also tend to do the annexations
Yeah.
on that opposite Tuesday meeting. So these would be, I think the intention of the meeting is for things that are regular business of the board that don't come up every week. Mostly ditch petitions and annexation hearings, correct, Madam Clerk?
Correct. Also vacation hearings and
Annexation hearings, things like that. There are a few.
CDBG hearings, whatever there may be, just in case. Yep. Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Number 11, renewal levy for developmental disabilities, 1.6875 mil, 5-year renewal levy to be placed on the May 2nd, 23 ballot.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Yes, I think we have somebody here in regards to, to discuss. Yes.
Good morning, Amber. How are you?
Good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to address the board this morning regarding our request to be on the May ballot for a renewal of our 5-year levy. I am, as you, I think, said my first name, I'm Amber Fisher. I'm the superintendent of the Lorain County Board of Developmental Disabilities, also known as Murray Ridge Center. And I believe that each of you has received a detailed levy recommendation. I wanted to say that I very much appreciate the time that each of you have taken individually to learn more about our role and our services, so thank you for that. I would like to review some of the critical services that we provide through Murray Ridge Center. If that's okay, I promise to be as brief as possible. Last year, we served more than 3,000 Lorain County residents with developmental disabilities through our lifelong system of support. We start with early intervention services for infants and toddlers at the critically important stage of ages 0 to 3. This program has been growing continuously for a number of years. And in 2022, we served 945 infants and toddlers with developmental delays. We also operate Murray Ridge School, which includes a preschool, and all of the school districts in Lorain County are able to refer children to our school. We educate the children, some of Lorain County's children, with the most significant intellectual and physical disabilities at Murray Ridge School. We provide adult services last year for more than 850 eligible individuals. That was done either directly through the provision of services by Murray Ridge Adult Services or by a growing network of private providers. In the case of privately provided services, we are very much involved by developing service plans, monitoring the services, helping individuals link with providers, and importantly, providing funding for the non-federal share of the cost of adult services. We also operate 3 adult opportunity and vocational centers in the county, one in Oberlin, one in Elyria, and one in Lorain, with more than 500 participants. And we operate a robust program of supported employment, which involves both supervised group work crews in the community and also assistance of individuals with developmental disabilities to be employed by local businesses. So we do the referrals and we do job coaching to ensure the success of people in those settings. Before I move away from adult services, I would be remiss if I didn't mention our wildly popular Special Olympics program. And both the adults that we serve directly and adults that are served by private providers are welcome to be a part of our Special Olympics program. More than 650 local adults receive residential services through Murray Ridge Center. Housing is available through a nonprofit board affiliated with us, the Murray Ridge Housing Corporation, and they serve as landlord to individuals who receive services in groups, but not necessarily in traditional licensed residential facilities. Murray Ridge does operate a residential intermediate care facility in Lorain, and this is for adults with very, very significant developmental disabilities and profound intellectual disability. Many of those adults we've been serving for decades, since the time that they were children. It started as a children's home, and now it's becoming a home for older folks. So that's our Meister Road facility. Most residential services in the county, though, are delivered by a very robust network of private providers. And these are delivered in settings including licensed residential facilities, small group settings, including those where individuals rent from the Murray Ridge Housing Corporation. They're also delivered to people in semi-independent living situations and in the family home. Again, Murray Ridge coordinates and administers these services through developing service plans, assisting with provider identification and linkage, monitoring services, and again, importantly, authorizing the use of local dollars to cover the non-federal share of these services. Currently, the Medicaid match or the non-federal share is just over 1/3 of the cost. This takes me to what is currently considered a key function of county boards of developmental disabilities, Service and Support Administration, or SSA. We have an expert team of more than 40 professionals in the SSA department, and they perform functions ranging from information and referral to eligibility determination to some of the things I've already discussed, like service coordination, ISP development, and importantly, they coordinate emergency services and placements oftentimes when individuals who are living with aging caregivers are no longer able to receive support in the family home. And oftentimes it seems like those emergencies occur on Friday evenings, but it's a key function, a very important function of our SSA department. We have a different department with 5 staff that investigate incidents of abuse and neglect of individuals with developmental disabilities. They also assist with prevention planning, and we do operate a 24-hour hotline for reporting of these things. And I just want to close my overview of our services by mentioning that we do have a robust family support services program, wherein we provide some limited funding to the families of children and adults who have their individuals with developmental disabilities living in the family home. More than 500 individuals received those services last year, and our board recently decided to liberalize some of the criteria so that the families of people who are not enrolled on Medicaid waivers will be able to receive additional funding going forward. So again, I want to emphasize that the local dollars are needed to match the federal dollars for many of the adult day and residential services that Murray Ridge funds or provides directly. The levy we are seeking to renew represents more than 35% of our funding. And because some of this funding is used to pull down federal Medicaid dollars, we would be unable to provide more than 35% of our services if the levy is not renewed. The effective millage of the levy is about 1.3 mils, and it will not increase taxes. I'd like to conclude by saying that at Murray Ridge, we have a dedicated and mission-driven group of hundreds of employees, and we're deeply committed to those we serve and to effective stewardship of public funds. So with that, do the commissioners have any questions for me?
Commissioner Hung? Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
I would like to thank you for the time you spent yesterday to bring me up to speed as the newest person at the desk. Would you also share a little bit, I found it interesting, the transition from in-house to the private sector, because I think that's an important shift that, to me, it indicates we've raised our expectations about mainstreaming folks to the level that they can be.
Yes, thank you for that question. A number of years ago, about 8 years ago, I think it was, the Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, came up with a rule that said that it was basically a conflict of interest for the same entity to provide both case management, which in the case of county boards of DD is like our Service and Support Administration Department, and also the direct provision of services to Medicaid waiver recipients. Now, that rule was introduced and widely discussed at the same time that CMS was looking at really advocating for a more community-based model of service delivery. So the idea for sort of the second thing that was being discussed at that time was to enable individuals who may be receiving congregate care to spend more time out in their communities, interacting with people, including those who did not also have developmental disabilities. So really they were two separate concepts, but they came about and were discussed at the same time. And, you know, one of the things that was looked at is that traditionally both private providers and county boards of DD had at least one model of service delivery where people were kind of congregated for adult services. So the two kind of got linked and were looked at as one and the same. They're actually kind of separate. But in any case, one of the things that's really impacting Murray Ridge Center is that we are no longer going to be allowed to provide direct adult services to individuals who are enrolled on Medicaid waivers. Not all adults are enrolled on Medicaid waivers, and those who are not will be able to continue to choose Murray Ridge Adult Services if that is their desire after 2024. But in the meantime, we have had to ask individuals on Medicaid waivers to seek private providers of adult day support, and we are about 2/3 of the way through that process. It's going okay. Unfortunately, you know, the staffing shortages, which are just very significant throughout the DD system, have limited the availability of staff to both private providers and really everyone in the system. But we're about 2/3 of the way through that transition, committed to continuing to be available to anybody who chooses to receive services from us through our various models, as long as we are, you know, permitted to do that. But 2024, after the first quarter of 2024, we will no longer be able to provide adult services to individuals on Medicaid. And we went through this transition, incidentally, in the case of residential a number of years back. We had operated a number of group homes throughout the county that were funded through Medicaid waivers, and we, about 10 years ago, had to privatize those homes because of the same concept of conflict of interest under Medicaid. When we closed the homes, we actually created smaller homes so that people were able to experience more sort of residential neighborhoods and community-based settings. Did that answer the
Absolutely.
question? Thank you. Thank you for that question. That's very important. And I really appreciate, excuse me, appreciate the opportunity to explain that even though some of this is going on and we are delivering fewer direct services, although we still deliver many direct services, we still need funding to support the privately provided services, because we pay, in some cases, 100% of the cost of the services if someone is not yet on a Medicaid waiver, but we have to pay the Medicaid match, and we also need to have staff that assist with planning those services, monitoring them, doing provider compliance and developing service plans. So I promise to be brief, but I do appreciate the opportunity to digress into that very important point. So thank you for the question. Anything else?
Nope, I appreciate you coming in on, on Tuesday, and we discussed quite a bit. Now, I'm more of the financial aspect of it. I appreciate that you guys are very good stewards with your money. You know how to match and how to extend those dollars and get more federal dollars. And I know you wanted to come in and speak when we were going to have a public type hearing where you're going to do that, but I felt it was more appropriate that once we vote for your levy that you come up and speak at that point. So I appreciate you waiting until we made the decision. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 12, use $11,249,828.60 of the American Rescue Funds Act funds to replace lost revenue in Lorain County General Fund due to the COVID-19 pandemic, due to the budget shortfalls, due to decreased revenues as a result of the COVID pandemic.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
Yes. Mr. President?
Yep.
Okay, so normally we look at the agenda and then we say, well, it's right on the resolution. Unfortunately, I'm seeing American Rescue Funds Act funds on the agenda. It should be American Rescue Plan Act funds. I'll just show you my copy, Dave. So it's right here, here, and here on the resolution, but it's not right here and here. So I would make a motion to amend the resolution just to reflect it correctly,
Okay.
because ARPA is the acronym American Rescue Plan Act. Okay. So on the motion to amend to fix that, do I have a second?
Yep. Second.
Madam
Any
Clerk?
further discussion? Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Okay, and then on the original motion, Teresa?
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Flashing the Manson lamps at me when I said that. I just want to make sure we're doing it the right way.
I wonder what,
Every once in a while, we get the drill on parliamentary procedure, Dan.
Just gotta kind of file along here. Number 13, adjust the salaries of the Oakland Municipal Court employees effective January 13th of '23, which reflects the county's 2/5 share. Bailiff Joseph Davidson at $752.39, and Clerk Court Sandra Cohart at $1,192.60.
so moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 14, appoint Commissioner Moore and alternates to Lorain County Board of Revisions for 2023.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Yes. I mean, we put the word alternates, but I don't have that many alternates. So do I have the ability to add, or do I have to come back and add them?
No.
The reason it says alternates is you can appoint an this
Without coming
resolution
back.
gives you the authority to
Okay.
have an alternate.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
You're welcome. Anything further? Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Number 15, reappoint the following members, Lorain County Correctionals Planning Board, effective January 1st, 2023 through December 31st of 2023. Judge James Moraldi, Dr. Barsham Ballinger, Emily.
Pause for a minute.
Sure.
There was an email from our assistant prosecutor, and he had an idea that would make, I'll let you explain it, okay?
I've always felt that the intent, my understanding of the board's intent to make these appointments, either by intent of the board or by statute, is that the person being appointed, for example, I'll use Emily Kirsch. Emily Kirsch it's not intended to appoint Emily Kirsch in her personal capacity. Emily's being appointed because she is the court administrator for the Domestic Relations Court. I believe, and we've run into this on occasion in the past when people have changed jobs, that we would be better off making the appointments based on title and then list the individual who currently holds the title, so that if, for example, Emily leaves and takes Sherry Clauser's job upstairs as the general division clerk and they flop, it's less complicated for the board to, it's easier for me to argue, well, who we appointed was the DR administrator, whoever holds that seat. So my recommendation would be that we would handle appointments that way rather than simply by name.
So would you rather see?
That's fine. I just know Judge Maraldi, we do this once a year.
Yeah.
But
At
Moraldi,
his recommendation.
Judge Moraldi is Judge Moraldi.
Right.
So he's gonna be appointed the way he is. And some of these people, I don't know these appointments, some of these people may be appointed for their personal characteristics rather than their professional.
It's all by the professional
Okay.
for this.
Then,
Yes.
then I would suggest that either by tabling this and fixing that for next week, or by doing it in the future, that we appoint by their title, so we know. That was the gist of my email yesterday.
Mr. President,
Yep.
is there anything pressing that would prohibit us from just pushing this a week and getting that added?
I don't think so.
No, because they already met.
Okay,
Okay.
They met last week, so I don't think that there's a difference. I just let them know that we hadn't done this yet, so they're scheduled another meeting. I just don't know when, so they meet monthly.
Obviously, last week, there were a number of people out, and things happen.
Well-
We all understand that, but, yeah, okay. That would be helpful to me if you could do that, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold
So-
for a week.
Yeah, just hold. We don't need,
Do we need to move to table it, Dan?
I think we just
No,
hold it.
There was no motion yet.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Number 16, reappoint the following members to Lorain County Airport Advisory Board effective January 1st, 23 through December 31st of 23. J.R. White, Karen Perkins, Herb Delaporte, Tom Deuce, Rick Boddicker, Tom Patton, Dan Reeser, and then appoint Tom Houston and Dan Gross.
So moved.
second,
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
aye,
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Excuse me. Number 17, appoint Commissioner Riddell, alternate John Gall, to the Black River RAP Coordinator Committee effective January 1st of 23, December 31st of 25.
So moved.
second,
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
aye,
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 18, appoint Commissioner Moore and alternate Commissioner Riddell to CCAO effective, there's an extra R in there, January 1st of 23, December 31st of 23.
So moved.
second,
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
aye,
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 19, reappoint Georgia Awig as a member to the Fair Housing Board effective January 1st of 23 through December 31st of 26.
So moved.
second,
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
aye,
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 20, reappoint the following members to keep Lorain County beautiful effective January 1st of 23 through December 31st of 25. Patrick Hastings, Bob Melander, Stephanie Koshko, and then appoint David J. Moore, Amanda Jarman, and Amy Marcel.
so moved,
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, Mr. President.
Yep.
I would like to add, if anybody is looking to volunteer within their community, this is a great meeting to come to, just to kind of figure out what they're doing out there, what their projects are. It's pretty informative. They're a fun group of people.
Anything else? Commissioner Riddell,
aye,
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 21, appoint Commissioner Moore, alternate Rob Duncan, to LEEDCO, which is Lake Erie Energy Development Corporation, effective January 1st of 23 through December 31st of 23.
So moved.
second,
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
aye,
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 22, appoint the following members to NOACA, effective January 1st of 23 through December 31st of 23. Commissioner David J. Moore, alternate Thomas Patrick. Commissioner Jeff Riddell, alternate John Gall. Ken Carney, County Engineer, alternate Robert Kleiber. To be determined by Lorain County Township Association. Jack Bradley, Lorain Mayor. Frank Whitfield, Elyria Mayor. Kevin Cochran, North Ridgeville Mayor, and alternate David DeVenso, Grafton Mayor. On the NOACA Air would be Commissioner Jeff Riddell and alternate John Gall. Carl Wiesmeyer, Grafton Township Trustee. NOACA Rural Advisory Committee would be Robert Duncan and Bob Melander. NOACA Emerging Leaders Advisory Committee, Andrew Lippian. And NOACA Bike Pedestrian Advisory is Jim Zemek, Director at Metro Parks, and Sarah Tilley, Lorain County Health Department.
So moved.
second,
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
aye,
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 23, appoint Commissioner Hung and alternate Matt Spears to United Way of Greater Lorain County Emergency Food and Shelter Program, effective January 1st of 23 through December 31st of 23.
so moved,
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell,
aye,
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 24, appoint Kelly Grosspitch as member to Transportation Improvement District effective January 20. I'm sorry, can I change this to the 18th? I don't know why. I think I was thinking 25th when I put that on there of 2023.
So January 18th,
Yes, since today's the date we're doing it.
Yeah.
and
And
23.
it says 22 on.
I know, so it should be
What is-
January 18th of 2023.
You're
It's
allowed a
wrong
few
on the
mistakes.
I know,
agenda,
sorry.
too. Do you need
Read
it
it, just
amended?
not, you
Okay.
just need to read it that way.
So appoint Kelly Grosspitch as member to Transportation Improvement District effective January 18th of 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah, Mr. President. I'm sorry, Teresa, I looked at this last night, and usually I will email you if I
I
see
know,
it,
and
I was looking to
typed
make
it
sure
and
the
I didn't-
application was there, and I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Anything further? Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Under the engineer, 25, enter in consulting service agreement with K. McCartney and Associates, Inc. in the amount of $49,500 to assist with general engineering services for Lorain County Engineer and will be paid from the engineer project account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
26, enter in consulting services agreement CTL Engineering, Inc. for amount not to exceed $25,000 for the 23 general highway engineering, materials testing, and construction inspection, which will be paid from the MVGT account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
27, certify annual county highway system mileage in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code, Section 4501.04 for 22. Total length of county maintained public roads in 21 was 267.618 miles, and will certify 266.983 miles of public road for 22.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
28, advertise bids for various Lorain County engineer off-road ditch maintenance services. Notice being in the Journal on January 23rd and 30th and open at 2:30 PM on February 9th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
29, advertise for bids for various Lorain County engineer highway department materials. Notice being in the Journal on January 23rd and 30th and open at 2 PM on February 9th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 30, authorize ODOT to review and approve a posted speed limit of 50 miles per hour from 55 miles per hour for Hollow Road, County Road 75, from the intersection of Kipton Nickel Plate Road to a point northerly approximately 0.5 miles, Pittsfield Township.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
31, authorize engineer to enter into LPA Federal Local Let Project Agreement with ODOT for the Safe Roads Project in Sheffield Township. These will be for the new sidewalks along the north side of North Ridge Road from the Clearview Local School campus to Cooper Foster Park Road along the new crosswalk markings and upgraded curb ramps at the intersection of Broadway and North Ridge Road. Estimated cost of this project is $389,857.48, and federal funding would be made available at 100% for the new sidewalks in state fiscal year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung.
Yes.
Number 32, Sheriff, renew the consulting services agreement with Lakota Way, Inc. to provide substance abuse counseling services to inmates at a rate of $25.44 per hour, effective January 1st, 23 through December 31st of 23, and this will be paid from the Jail Inmate Commissary Fund account.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
D, public comment.
Yep. I see Don's really close. We'll let you speak. Come on up, sir. You have 3 minutes for public comment. We have 3 documents filled out for 3 people to speak today, so welcome to our meeting. And, yep, yeah, just come on up and
How are you? It's been a long time, hasn't it? I think this has been 2010 since I spoke to you the last time. Hi, I'm Don Brackenoff. Just so you speak my name, I'm from 59 Cardinal Court up in Lorain, Ohio. Recently moved there from right approximately half a mile from here. So My biggest question is, I was reading the Chronicle on the internet, and I noticed that the Lorain County Port Authority is wanting to purchase parts of Midway Mall, and the funding's going to come from the county commissioners. And my biggest comment is, what expertise does Lorain County Port Authority have, not in financing, but in developing a large commercial property? And what due diligence was the county commissioners doing to make sure that you're going to fund this large project with that expertise? So that's really my question. I'm just concerned that a public entity wants to purchase, or it's a government entity, wants to purchase something that the private sector should stay involved in. I have no problem with the county and the Port Authority helping to facilitate financing, facilitate economic development grants. I've done that for 3 years when I worked for the city of Elyria. But in no way should they be the driver, the primary owner of any such properties, because at some point in time, as you've seen in the last 20 years, it's not been developed in the way we would like to see it. And I'd hate to see that the county and the Port Authority have those funds go back to the residents of Lorain County to pay for all that. I'm just curious, what expertise do we have in doing that? Is that something we address when I do a public comment, or is that, it's just
Not
basically
usually, yeah,
my
like, I
opinion?
sent you an email about the Port Authority. I
You
sent
would
it
send
to
to Mr. Miller.
And I
right.
said, yeah, when Mr. Miller has his meeting, which he should have next week, I'm not too sure if they're having one next week, but they're doing their due diligence as we speak, so.
Okay, so that's
They
really where
just
I should
needed, they
take it
needed
up
their,
at.
yeah, they needed to make sure they had the backing prior. And if they move forward, fine. If they don't move forward, that money comes back.
So where else did they go to for funding besides Lorain County Commissioners?
They just came here.
And why would you, can I ask, why would you want to support something like that from a financial standpoint? What gave you the strength, or I should say, the validity that they can actually do this? What's their expertise in doing this? They do a lot of funding. I have no problem
I
with
don't know,
that.
they'll be doing a lot more funding on the project.
Yeah, but they're
main
going to
step
actually
one-
own the project.
I
That's a
really
big
didn't want to have a
difference.
debate, but,
So,
yeah, step one was getting everything under one ownership, and then what's gonna happen, there's developers that will be coming in and taking over. I do agree with you.
yeah.
The main thing was getting it all under one ownership, and that's what's going on right now. So it's one of those things we'll have to wait till next week and see how that turns out.
Okay, so I'll get that, hopefully,
Oh,
the date for that next week.
I hope
can-
so.
Okay. All right, I'm just voicing my opinion that
Oh,
I
I know,
don't think
I know,
government
that's-
institutions should be at all
I'm
owning
sorry
any
for interrupting you,
properties.
so,
So, all right, thank you.
3 minutes, good job.
Do we have a process for referring that to Jim Miller so that he,
Oh, I just sent Jim an email, so.
okay?
I think Brian Baker, would you like to come on up? And thank you for coming in and being patient.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Baker, 49822 Greystone Drive, Amherst, Ohio. I come today, I saw on the agenda, item 22 last week, that you rescinded a community development agreement with Rudolph Libby. I'm a little bit puzzled that that Commissioner Moore, not you as much, because we've had these conversations over my years before, but Commissioner Riddell, I'd be very puzzled that you voted for this. I've been in construction about 40 years. I've seen consumer trucks in and out of the Ford plant, in and out of the steel mill, in and out of Ohio Edison, in and out of Avon Lake Ford, which are worked under the same kind of agreement called the National Maintenance Agreement. So I guess my concern is, if it's good for you in your private life, why is it not good for all the citizens of Lorain County? So what I would ask is that you would reconsider this and at least sit down with the building trades to try to work something out that benefits all the residents of Lorain County, just not certain entities of it.
Yeah, I hate to interrupt you, because you only done 30 seconds, Brian, so. Yeah, that was pulled because I felt that's the responsibility of the Port Authority to move forward
But
with
it's
that.
not, because this on this piece here is for the county work. It's for the county work. It's not for only Port Authority work. At least what I understand the agreement, it said anything over $250,000 used would use this community development agreement. Is that correct?
I'm trying to think, this was in regards to a,
With Rudolph
Straw-
Libby,
yeah, with
correct?
a
It's
straw-
called a project labor agreement, okay?
Yeah, I think you're getting that
Yeah.
confused with the
Okay.
PLA.
yeah, you are, yeah.
Okay.
'cause
Yeah,
Yeah, this
Okay.
has nothing to do with the PLA.
All right.
The Rudolph Libby rescission was actually, I felt Commissioner Riddell needed more time to review it. It had nothing to do with
Okay.
the project labor agreement.
All right.
Yeah, it
Okay.
had nothing at all.
I just wanted to make sure, because when I see that there is, I mean, that's what they call, that's just a different name that they call them, community development, because what they're doing, trying to do under these community development agreements, they're trying to recruit people in the communities. As you know, and I say you got help wanted signs out right now at your company, there's gonna be such a shortage of building tradespeople, and if anybody doesn't understand, Intel will probably suck up
Oh.
all the building tradespeople. They need 8 to 10,000 construction workers there, starting here in the spring. And I can tell you, Intel's already said they will pay double time for all work. So if you don't think when they come down here, we're gonna be at a loss unless we figure out a way to recruit people, pay them the right wages, and not be messing around. So I do apologize. I thought this was on that PLA.
No.
But on that piece of it is, I think that we should sit down with the building trades and make sure that we're doing something so we can recruit enough people here. The Ford plant's coming. The county talks about doing something
Well,
here
the
at the
jail,
mall.
you got the jail
and
coming,
all that,
yeah.
so I think you should sit down and do something with that work though. But I know I've benefited greatly from it in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I know Jeff, I know you have. I've seen consumer trucks everywhere
Mm-hmm.
in those plants, and I mean, and it's been a great thing. We are seeing a lot of it leave. You know, I mean, we've lost the mill, we've lost the one Ford plant. We do have a big plant coming at the Ford plant, which I would guess you're probably gonna try to get work there. But I would just say that on that part of it, but I correct myself, I apologize for on this piece. But I think the community development agreements, if it's for recruiting, we need to do a good job of it and a better job of it, so,
No, we
thank
agree.
you.
Welcome back, Brian, and
Yeah.
things.
Thank you, thank you.
But if you allow me to respond just to two
Yeah.
things. First of all,
Yeah.
this was an economic development issue.
Okay.
It wasn't a project labor issue.
Okay.
Okay? And number two was, and probably more aptly put through the Port Authority, because they're the economic development
Yeah.
wing for us. And number two is, I'm prohibited by law from sitting in this chair and creating work for my family's business.
I understand.
Thank you for saying that.
I do understand that. I understand that part of it. I've done this for a while. I've gone to a place where a lot of people haven't been. I spent 15 years in Washington DC to watch nothing but turmoil. So like, we need to make sure that we take care of our local communities and take care of our local people. And I've always been an advocate for that. I don't care which political party it is. I mean, we have to work together to change. I would say one quick thing, and I won't take more time. I've come back and forth for 15 years, and I've watched everything deteriorate in these communities. I mean, everything is closing. I mean, I went one time to go to a couple hardware stores to pick up stuff, and they're all closed. So, I mean, I lived in a community that didn't really care about people, and this community does care about people, and I think we need to get back to that and worry about people and not play politics, so, thank
Brian,
you.
where were you last year during my campaign?
I wasn't here yet. I just moved back October 1st, but I would just say is,
Well, welcome back.
you know, thank you for the time to address you today, so, thank you.
Always.
Okay, Pat McCauley. I'll let you introduce yourself. How's that? Okay.
Good morning. I am Pat McCauley with State Treasurer Robert Sprague's office. I'm his Public Affairs Liaison for Northwest Ohio, and I just wanted to stop by your meeting today and introduce myself and offer up the services of the Treasurer's office. If there's anything that we can ever do to help out the county, do not hesitate to let me know. I did bring a couple of programs that I'd like to touch on real briefly here. I left some information on at your chairs. The first is OMAP. That's the Ohio Market Access Program, and that allows any entity that is dependent on taxpayer dollars to use the credit rating of the Treasurer's office to get reduced financing for short-term capital projects. So county, villages, townships, cities, joint fire districts, libraries can all take advantage of this program, and there's even more than that. And the great thing about it is the short-term note is for a year. If the entity cannot roll that note over, the Treasurer's office buys it and sets up a payment program to the Treasurer's office. So feel free to let all the other entities in Lorain County know about this program because we'd be happy to assist them and help them save a lot of money. I've seen communities save anywhere from $2,000 to $37,000 in financing costs. The next program it's stable accounts, which goes hand in hand with the Board of DD that was here earlier this morning. Stable accounts allow individuals with a disability to be able to save money without affecting what they receive from the federal government and benefits. Anybody can put money into a stable account, so it can be mother, father, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, friend, neighbor. They can help out an individual with the disability. We are now able to offer a payroll deduction option to local governments and businesses to allow employees to be able to have a portion of their paycheck put directly into a stable account if they choose. It's easy, it's free, we set it up for free, usually work with the payroll person for this, and we get that set up. And also provide information to employees about Stable and how it can help. Program's only been around for about 6.5 years, so we're still getting the word out as much as we can. When Treasurer Sprague came into office, there were 9,000 people using it. Now, we're over 31,000 taking advantage of this program. So if that's something the county would like to offer as an added benefit to your employees, let me know. We'd be happy to set that up for you and help out individuals with those disabilities.
Okay.
But like I said, if there's anything else that we can do to assist the county, please reach out. My contact information's there, so be happy to assist you in any way we can.
Yep. And you're gonna be speaking at the Township Association meeting in May, you said?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think May 19th
Okay, good.
is
Okay,
the day I'm scheduled for,
okay,
so
fantastic. Well, thanks for coming into Lorain County today.
thank you.
Anyone else? Okay,
Clerk's report.
yep.
Thursday, January 19th at 10 a.m., we'll have our land bank meeting. Tuesday, January 24th at 9:30, we'll have our stormwater management district meeting. That same day at 1 p.m., no, that should be 11 a.m.
Which one?
Wow, my goodness. The investment, Tuesday, January
11?
20, it's always at 11. I don't know
Okay.
why I have 1 p.m., but yes, 11 a.m. investment advisory meeting. Board correspondence,
Move to waive.
Second.
discussion.
I'd like to thank you for all your work. I know it was a rough 2 weeks, so
Has
thank you
been.
so much, and it's glad to have you back.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Dan, don't you usually say, is there any further business from this board and then meeting adjourned? Isn't that how you instructed us to do that?
Well, you can ask if there's any new business. It's not required.
Not how I recall you saying that in the past.
Well, we usually do that. That's usually how, I think that was how it's written on the
I
agenda.
think you said, if I'm recalling correctly, you said in lieu of a voice vote to motion to adjourn, that the president or the chair of said whatever is following Robert's rules needs to ask, is there any further business from this board? That is what I recall your instructions were.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I honestly will.
Okay, see, we're
got homework.
brain
I will look
testing
that
you
up.
here.
I know, because when you said
He's
that,
got homework.
We'll
I
just have to
recall that
put
it should
little
come up,
notes
but
up
I'll
here.
look it up. I will look it up and let you know.
Are we still live?
Make sure you're,
Dave wants it live until everybody stands up.
Oh,
That's what he said last week.
I'm sorry, I wasn't here, so I didn't know.
Oh, that's right, you were, I'm so sorry, we just
It's
talked about that,
okay.
didn't we?
use that excuse for a little longer.
So if you guys could all sign your life's away,
I think I did.
you might have.
I will.
Let me know.
I just pulled this one because we'll hold this one till next week.
All right. Not you.
Me? Oh, you signed too?
I did.
Get them all? That one was already done. I just had that back though, so.
I know, it's just interesting how I remember all this stuff, Dan Petticord. But I didn't pull the date out of my brain, did I?
Do you need me to take anything?
No.
Carry anything for you? Okay.
All right, thank you.